Iowa 101 or whatever is just like, if you are going to do the outfitter route, vet out as many as you can, not just Iowa, anywhere you go. I mean, there's some bad ones out there, really bad ones. And, I've filmed a lot over the years and went to a lot of outfitters filming and kind of see the bad side of a lot of that. I can count, the good ones on less, on one hand, and the bad ones on two hands or more. I would say, like, for me, if you're going to do an outfitter thing, anybody listening, is like, I don't think the questions to ask are like, can I see deer pictures? Because a lot of outfitters aren't just going to do that. I think the questions to ask are, how many guys are you running? Like, how much ground do you have, or how much do you hunt on? And I would be more worried about the pressure thing than anything else. And it's all about the experience you want to have too,
Hey guys, what's happening? It is Hutchie, and we are back for another episode of the Deercamp Detour, presented by Habitat Podcast. Man, I'll tell you what, we had a good conversation this episode with co-host Jared Van Hees and Arron Bleise of the Fall Podcast. In fact, all three of us are heading to Iowa here very soon. Arron and I are going to the same general area, and Jared's heading to a completely different zone, but we're going out to the promised land to shoot us some giant bucks. This was just a good old-fashioned BS session about Iowa and all that it's got to take, and it's basically, I use it as an informative tool for me. I've never been. Those guys have been before. So anyway, great conversation we had. Always good to catch up with Arron, and check it out. Follow along on the Habitat Podcast.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight? This afternoon, evening, whatever the heck this is.
Morning.
Morning.
My dad's the type of guy, it doesn't matter if it's 7 o'clock at night. It's like, good morning. It's like, he's been that way my whole life. I'm like, what are you talking about? So going good, man.
Good. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Start with you, Arron.
Yeah, my name is Arron Bleise. I run the Fall Podcast. Good buddies with these two hooligans on here, and we're just gonna cut it up for a little bit. I think. Don't even know what we're gonna. Well, Hutch, you did kind of tell me what we're gonna get into. So,
for my own selfish purposes, I want to talk about Iowa. But that's because you guys have both been and both killed.
Yeah, I got lucky. That's all I did. I'm just.
I killed, but I never got him.
Oh, well, we're gonna get into those stories. That's for sure.
Yeah. This is Jared Van Hees, owner of Habitat Podcast and Vitalized Seed Company. Happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. Well, we just finished one up, like 15 minutes ago.
Rock and
for
roll.
You. I keep
it's
on
hunting
going.
Season. We got to start loading
That's
these.
That's right.
Up,
you got to get them in the bank so that you're not stressing trying to get them done during hunting season.
Yeah,
that's for sure. So we're a couple days away from the Michigan opener. Well, a little more than that. What, about a week? A little less than a week out. How's things looking for you guys in Michigan?
Man, for me, as we're recording this, like, September has been the biggest outlier I've ever had in all the years I've ever hunted. It's been I've never seen it like this. It got so bad that I thought EHD was running through here, because there's been, talks of it south of me, not in my county yet that I know of, but I was getting, in July, August, glassing good deer, having a pretty good hit list. And then September 1 came, and my number one buck, he showed up and then was gone until the 9th. He showed up again. And in that time frame, like, all my deer disappeared. And the 9th was the last sighting I ever had of a shooter buck. And now, what are we, the 25th? 2 days ago, finally, he showed back up for the first time in 2 weeks. Now, I will say, I've glassed every night since the 9th, almost every morning, and running cameras, and I could still not lay my eyes on a shooter buck, whether it was on my property or not. It was the weirdest thing that I've ever went through. But the thing is like, everybody I've talked to, they had the same thing happen. And I think it's a combination of things. I think we got a frost early in September. I think that helped with the sightings early. And then it got really hot and it's sustained hot. And then the acorns have dropped way early and the deer just mowing acorns. There is so much corn up. And then I really think a kicker is the beans turning so fast. And the beans, like, I don't know how they're not being harvested around me right now because they are, like, to me, the way they look, there's no leaves on them. They've turned so quick and the deer just kind of like left them. Because usually I've had years, a lot of years where you go into October, that first week of October, you might still have green beans on where you could still kill deer over green beans. And not this year. So it's been crazy for me. And I try not to freak out too much about it because I'm like, well, I'm going to Iowa this year. So it's like, there's nothing here, I guess. So, but we're back. The youth hunt didn't affect those two deer. And the EHD didn't get them because I did do some walking. I spent 2 days walking farms on some water, no EHD. We're back and we're running. We're going.
Absolutely. How about you, Jared?
Yeah, I'd have to commiserate with Aaron a little bit. I did listen to your season episode, Aaron, and was hoping some of those answers would answer some of my questions. But I'd say I had a nice bachelor group of bucks, 4 to 5. 3 of them I'd shoot all the way till probably about 10 days ago. So halfway through September, even after they shed their velvet, they were still there. I'm like, oh baby, this is gonna be great. And now it's a little quiet. I have been doing some work out there later than I wanted to, but there's a couple bucks around there, just not targets yet. I'm sure they'll be back. I have a new lease that I'm on this year nearby, and that property is filling up now. So it's kind of I'm not worried about it yet. And I also have Iowa this year among too many other trips, but I'm gonna be aggressive when I do see something. So gonna turn the aggression up this year for sure on diving in. Swing for the fences.
Yeah.
Well, I'm nothing like you guys. I've had nothing on camera this year other than a 4 point and a spike. But usually in years past, if you want to go on historical data, if I have a terrible like September, August, nothing really coming in, I shoot the neighbors in November. So I'll
Not the neighbors personally, but their deer, right?
yeah. No, not yet anyway. But I don't know. I'm on next to public, so I may shoot the neighbors. Who knows?
That's funny.
I also think there's been a lot of pressure. They've got hiking trails to my north on a piece of public, or it's conservancy property, and it's been very, very active this fall. So I think that also has a lot to do with the pressure of being out there. So, but yeah, no shooting neighbors, not yet anyway. That's for sure.
I think we just need some weather to change. I think that'll help quite a bit. Honestly, because we, like Aaron said, we've seen those colder mornings and colder evenings. Man, that it was just perfect. So they're all hanging out right now in the shade, in the corn somewhere.
I agree.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I wanted to get you guys on today mainly for my own personal benefit of talking about Iowa. Aaron, you and I are going to the same area. Jared, you're going to a different area. You guys have both been before. Let's talk Iowa 101 for a guy that hasn't been west of the Mississippi.
Well, here's the question for you first. Are you going to be able to scout and be active, be aggressive, or are you being told where you're going to sit?
I'm lying everything on the outfitter. Everything. Okay. He's telling, I'm hoping he's going to even carry me up into the stand. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but Chad, if you're listening, I'm looking for the bougiest of bougie. So I'm going to the same spot Aaron's going to. I'm going as a full on, guided client. And I'm going basically to that spot because of Aaron, because I've been to a ton of different outfitters over the years, and I've been burned by a ton of different outfitters. And I actually was done doing the outfitter thing, but once I drew Iowa, and then after talking with Aaron, and I've been talking with Chad for a few years, felt comfortable, getting into that set again. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So
and
no pressure, Aaron.
well, yeah, I mean, hunting's hunting too. You know, I've recommended a lot of places for like, you know, my father-in-law to go to, and not a lot of places, but other people as well, and they just don't have good hunts. And it's like, I hate doing that because it's like, you know, I can only go off my experience. And when you get there, the weather could be absolutely just horrendous, and there goes your hunt. That's kind of like the the downfall of an outfitter as well. Like when you have just this, or even just a rutcation. You know, if you have these 7 days to hunt and they just don't align with what you can do, you're kind of strapped. So I guess Iowa 101 or whatever is just like if you are going to do the outfitter route, vet out as many as you can, you know, not just Iowa, anywhere you go. I mean, there's some bad ones out there, really bad ones. And, you know, I've filmed a lot over the years and went to a lot of outfitters filming and kind of see the bad side of a lot of that, you know, and I can count, you know, the good ones on less, you know, on one hand and the bad ones on two hands or more. So it's like, you know, so you kind of got to vet that out. And it's, I would say, like, for me, if you're going to do an outfitter thing, you know, anybody listening is like, I don't think the questions to ask are like, can I see deer pictures? Because a lot of outfitters aren't just going to do that. I think the questions to ask are, you know, how many guys are you running? Like, um, you know, how much ground do you have, or how much do you hunt on, and you know, how much. I would be more worried about the pressure thing than anything else. You know, and then it also brings in the legality of like some guys are just kind of, there's people, you know, the whole Nebraska thing, people are, the outfitter was baiting and, you know, you're not supposed to, and stuff like that. But, um, and it's all about the experience you want to have too, you know? So I'm fortunate to enough to have known Chad for years, and he kind of, you know, I kind of do, you know, he gives me the opportunity to go out there and, you know, sublease one of his farms kind of thing, you know, and he kind of lets me do my thing. He trusts me, you know, but I still rely a lot on him. Chad is one of the better hunters that I've ever met, you know, and he's got a wall that, you know, will hammer that home, but also the way he talks and his stand locations and stuff and the farms he has are just second to none in my opinion. And I don't know, I guess that's a long way winded me of saying that's kind of what I would first look at in those in that aspect.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Oh, go ahead, Jared.
Oh, I was just gonna add on. I would agree with everything Aaron said. I think asking around to guys who've been to these spots before is good. Like Aaron's been to this one, so you kind of know. I think the success rate. So a lot of outfitters will tout themselves on a success rate. That can depend on a few things, but that's a question. And then also there's places like WTA I used years ago for an Illinois outfitter, the only one I've ever been to. And you pay them a little extra, but they got us exactly what we were looking for. It was a discounted rate because they had a couple guys drop out of this week that me and my guy were going to go, and it ended up working out great. So that's a service that can do some of the legwork for you. And then lastly, I think I'd ask a little bit about like where you're going to stay, the meal plans, etc. Because while this place was great that I went to, my it was a customer of mine I took there, and he was expecting burgers and steaks and this whole thing, and we got a lot of home cooking, like chili and soups and honestly kind of cheaper stuff, which he's been to a lot of places. He's like, that was weird how cheap we ate. He's like, I would have expected some nicer stuff. So just stuff to think about when you're considering.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I went to one, and I think the biggest in my, from where I've been to Illinois, Kentucky, Ohio, few other places, but how many butts are in the seats and how often those stands are being sat? Because I can tell you, I went to one in Ohio, and I won't mention names, but I literally watched a parade of deer walk at 60 yards, stop, look at the stand, and then keep going, because there had to have been someone in there either the week before or all season for that matter. So I think, and then when you roll in and there's 20 trucks sitting there and there's 25 guys in camp, it's really easy to say I've got, 4,000 acres of land, but when you're going back to the same 3 or 4 guys are going to the same spot every time, you don't, this was pre-map, pre-mapping too. So you really don't know what they have. So they could have 200 acres and you're on one side and the guys are on the other.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't going to do Iowa wasn't going to be an outfitted hunt for me. But after listening to you for years, Aaron, and then talking with you, and then, I've been talking with Chad for a few years. I felt so comfortable that I was like, take my money.
Yeah. Well, the whole kind of the backstory with me with Chad was, working for the Kiefers. That's how I got to know Chad years ago. I think our first year I ever went out there was like 2013, I think, and I met Chad, and they always hunted with him. And it was like it seemed like every other year I was going out there every tour because you used to be able to draw as a non-resident a lot sooner. And just got to know Chad well, but also, I mean, even though we were kind of hunting different farms, I was still amongst like seeing Chad with his clients all the time, and the food that you get, and like Jared said, like, the meals. I'm not gonna say you might get a steak one night, but like, yeah, it's crock pot and but it's to me that's deer season, like that's. As long as it doesn't have Band-Aid size onions in it in the chili, I'm good, man. You know what I mean? So like, but like that's the experience I want. Blackstone, burgers or something like that. It's like if you're wanting to go to a 5-star restaurant, like you're not going to get that in a deer camp. I mean, if you are, you're going to drop a lot of coin, but just like, the way Chad does it is just so laid back. There's no pressure. It's like, hey, come in from your hunt. Everybody's getting in, telling stories, cracking a couple beers, football's on, eat some supper, go to bed, repeat. You know what I mean? It's what it is. And but he's so good with the clients and where he's got so many different stand locations of different winds and how to not overpressure. That's the best thing I like about Chad is he just doesn't overpressure things. Like the deer are his baby. So it's like, he uses it with fine tooth gloves or whatever is it's delicate, and he knows if he pressures it like that as an outfitter, and having clients, your clientele can start going down by word of mouth bad, so yeah.
Well, it's kind of one of those things, if you get if you have a good experience, you're going to tell 1 or 2 people. If you have a bad experience, you're going to tell anybody that'll listen. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, I mean, I've seen that in, other industries and stuff. So it's kind of, if you don't put out your best product, you don't plan on being sustainable.
Yeah, for sure.
I just heard a lot of things about like Pike County turning into, just churning and burning guys, over and over and over, just seats in the stand, like, like a cattle trough. So it's just not what you want, You check out the land that they're going to have and yeah, pressure is key no matter what state you're in. Right. So.
That would be one of the places that I had a great experience. I went 2 years in a row to Pike County, and I went to an outfitter there called Extreme Hunts or something like that. Tony May was my guide, and we're still friends. We talk every couple of weeks now. But what a great outfit that you would have thought when you got there was going to be a terrible outfit, because I mean we're talking an old shitty farmhouse, and the food was trucked in from some company that's doing it there, and it was it was edible, but it wasn't. But the hunting and the way that Tony went about how he'd put you in stands was unbelievable. I sat on a 180-inch buck for an entire day just watching it with a lockdown with the doe, and I was supposed to leave, and he's like, stay, you're staying, I want you to stay, we're gonna kill this deer. So it was that was a good experience for me. But yeah, I've heard the same thing about Pike County though, and just turning and burning, because that was the mecca in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was Pike County, Pike County, Pike County.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Jared, you're going to a different zone than Aaron and I are going. What's your expectations? What's your situation like? All that good stuff.
Yeah, so last time I went with a buddy of mine, and we had about, I don't know, 2,000 acres to hunt to ourselves, but it's non-guided. It's kind of a pay to play or outfitter fee or whatever you want to call it. So we had to learn everything. And now that I know that, um, I'm going back. I'm going solo this time. My buddy who we were going to go back and finish the deal with, we had a bunch of close calls. I arrowed one to deliver, ran on the neighbors, couldn't track it. Um, he tried to apply last year to a different place with other people without telling me. So I kicked his ass out. He's done. So I'm going solo. I'm leaving the 1st of November. I don't want to pin it to that locked in week rutcation. So I may move on weather, shift it a few days later if I have to, but I got to be here for trick or treating. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm all latituded out like usual. Been that way for years. Going by myself. It's gonna be like go time, like full focus. All I'm doing, all I have to do, taking the week off. So I'm confident. I'm real confident. I'm gonna have a great time. I just gotta make the shot. So
Are you taking that new method 3 with you?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll have all kinds of stuff. The truck will be full of gear.
I love it. I love it. So Aaron, you're gonna chase some cold fronts.
I'm actually, yeah, well, I'm more chasing the red moon this year.
Oh, okay.
I've based both my trips right now off of strictly the red moon. We'll see. And like Jared said, weather pending, like I might shift a trip a day or two because of warm weather. There's nothing worse than warm weather. I mean, I did that 2 years ago in Kansas. We went and it was 80 degrees every day. And I told myself, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Like it is, that sucks. That's nobody likes that. And but yeah, that's kind of red moon in it, but also they're my favorite times to hunt. I am going off a little historic because I've had the luxury of going to Chad's a lot of different times. Like I've been there, during the rut, I've been there late season for gun, filming, and when I was there last time in 19 to hunt, the 2nd through the 7th was just absolutely on fire. So I don't really want to miss that, but also I know there's a window, in my opinion, that you can get into that is locked down, and I don't want to hit that. And I think with Iowa, from my experiences, I think the later you get into November, I think the more apt you're to get into that lockdown. To me, and my experiences, and a little bit of, I mean, somebody that's hunted there year in and year out could probably tell you more, but I think that lockdown is going to start right, around the 12th to like the 16th, somewhere in there. So I'm going to go right before then, but I'm also not going to go right at the beginning of November. So we'll see. That's my expectations are to get 3 minutes of silence is with nothing else. That's my goal. Um, I want the world to shut off for me. I've went through a lot this summer, personally with some losses and um, you know, health with some family members and stuff like that. So it's like, things have, and then work, and that's busy's good, but like I'm just kind of ready to like shut down for a minute, because you don't get to do that nowadays. Like nobody does. It's as much as you say, I'm gonna turn my phone off for a day. It's like, yeah, I get that, but when you turn it back on, life still starts and keeps going. So
You get the backlog of life. It seems like when you do that, we're such a connected society now that you get that backlog. You do shut it off for a day. Well, you've got a day of shit on your phone that's coming back to you the second you turn that back on. So I totally get that. Yeah, there's
yeah,
nothing better.
I will say like my social media is gonna be deleted before the 1st of October. So everybody, if you're listening to this, if you're wondering where I'm at, the only thing you're gonna find me on is Instagram. Everything else is going to be completely gone. And because the thing is, if I didn't have the podcast, like that's the only thing holding me to Instagram. But if I didn't have the podcast, you probably wouldn't know who I was. But that's just a personal thing. I mean, a lot of stuff that's going on in this world right now. I hate how connected I am, so I'm gonna disconnect. And the other thing is, I got an 8-year-old daughter that sees dad on the phone quite a bit, and I'm a hypocrite when I tell her to not be on a tablet when I'm on it. So I need to put my money where my mouth is, and not only for me, it's for my daughter. Like I don't need her growing up. She's never seen the light of YouTube. She's never been on YouTube. Um, for a reason. Never been on social media, but like I want to hold that off as long as I possibly can. So, and the things you're exposed to nowadays is just ridiculous. So I need to shut it down, man.
That's a whole nother podcast in itself right there. My
Yeah.
wife and I were literally just talking about that the other day about how, we get home, same thing, and we're both sitting on our phones there. And it's what are we doing? And then yeah, same thing. Oh, you can't get on that. And then let me tell you, you can't get on this as I'm looking at my phone. So we're doing the same. We try to get home now and we stick them on the counter in the entryway and walk away. And if you get a phone call, treat it like it's an old school phone on the wall.
Yeah. I like that.
I don't know how well it works, but we're trying. We're trying. It's baby steps, right? Baby steps.
Yeah.
I think
I
is
want
what
to
you
get a
got.
corded phone, put it on the wall, and that's a landline. Forget it. Like a little rotary dial. That's what we're using.
That's so I'm an electrical contractor and I can tell you I have not put a phone line in a house in probably 8 years.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If not longer. Unbelievable that like you think about what we grew up with, a phone would ring on the wall and you wouldn't know who it was. And now it's if we don't know who it is on our caller ID, we're not answering it.
Right.
It's just how everything's changed. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about deer hunting, big bucks in Iowa. And then I want to hear all about the Suburban, Aaron. I want to hear about Chad's Suburban that you really don't. I don't think you'll ride in it anymore. I think that's what you were saying.
I told Chad. I mean, just for nostalgia reasons, like when I go back, like I know Chad's going to make me get in it, but it's hard to explain that story that morning when I was freaking out. There was no brakes in the Suburban. So he buys these Suburbans. They are safe, but he buys them to haul his hunters around. I mean, you can get gear in the back and get a lot of guys in it. And one morning, Casey and I were hunting and we couldn't get to our vehicle because the way the deer left that day, they were like up to where. So I called Chad and I'm like, "Hey, can you pick us up on the south end of the farm and bring us around?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll pick you up." And I knew he had the Suburban, but I didn't know it didn't have any brakes. So he picks us up. Casey jumps in the front. I jump in like the back, and he's like, "Just so you know, I don't have brakes." Like, all right, pretty flat around there.
Just small detail.
Yeah, just minor, And Chad, to let everybody know what Chad is. Chad is a man that he knows a lot about a lot of things. Like he is so handy. He is like the handiest guy. He can work on vehicles. He can build houses. He can run electrical, do plumbing. Like he can do all the trades. Like he's just one of those old farm boys that like grew up learning everything and literally can do it all. And so like if a car breaks down, you're like, Chad could probably fix it with a zip tie on the side of the road. That's just him. So anyway, we're going down this 2-track that is supposed to be a road. If you've hunted in Kansas or Iowa, these back roads that are not gravel. They are, if they get any wet, they're all sorts of greasy and you cannot get down them. Well, we're on one of those roads. We're at the top of this hill and I look down and we're going towards a main road that's a T. It's a T corner. And on the opposite side is a huge ditch going down the other side. I'm like, Chad, how in the fuck are we going to stop? He's like, don't worry about it. I start getting out. Like as we're crossing the hill, I open the door. He's like, "Get your ass back in here." I'm like, "I'm not going down this hill," you know. And we start going down, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, "No way, no way, we're not doing this." And the thing is it's blind. You can't see cars coming from both sides. He had a plan the whole time. He's downshifting. He's like, with it's an automatic, and I'm like, he's hitting e-brake and stuff, and I'm like, "What the hell are we doing?" And I'll be damned, we come to a stop, not a screeching halt, but like a stop, and he looks both ways, pops her into drive, and we're going. And I'm like, I'm back there just pissed down my leg, and I'm like, what are we doing? He wouldn't have done it with clients in his truck, but like it was me and Case. We've known him forever. He's like, just buddies, so it's like he knew what he was doing now. So, but this Suburban sits in his weeds for 10 months out of the year, and then he drags it out, puts it in the shop, puts oil in it. If you're lucky, he puts oil in it, gasses it up, makes sure it runs, and charges the battery. And it's the funniest story, and he'll tell you, is like he's got a funny farm. He's got fainting goats at his house. So he's got like these goats, and I think he had like a pig, and he's got ducks and stuff like that. Well, he bought he bought a goat on Craigslist, and he had to travel to somewhere in Iowa to get it. He's like, "Shit, I'm gonna take the Suburban, just put it in the back of the Suburban."
Mm-hmm.
He goes and gets this goat, and he's like, on the way home, the thing starts shitting everywhere and stuff like that. And he's just got a goat bad in the back, and he's like, "This is Suburban." I think he's been through 2 of them. I think he's like, "I think I got 1 more year left in this one," and he buys them for like $5,000 and runs the tires off them. So that's his thing.
Smart man.
Yeah.
What kind of terrain are we talking here in Iowa? That's I mean, I can tell you as a guy that when I first started traveling out of state, I thought every spot I was ever going to be flat with farm ground with little woodlots everywhere, and I have yet to do any of those. It's always one time in Indiana, but it's always these big, Southern Ohio mountains, Pike County. It's big elevation changes. What are we looking for there in Ohio? Is it other than hills that are greasy and Suburbans?
Hey guys, Al here, Vitalize Seed. I hope you all are doing well. So we got a lot of new things happening at Vitalize this year, and I wanted to highlight some of those. First off, we got a brand new website. We just added a chat feature to that website, so you can get your answers to your questions in real time or as fast as possible. Those actually come directly to us, so we can answer those questions, as well as has some auto answer features for those frequently asked questions. So trying to further increase the customer service that we offer. Number 2 is we are offering bundles now. So we got a lot of questions about people trying to piecemeal things together. So we took the guesswork out of it for you. You want a fertility bundle? Add that to your cart, and it gives you all of our natural fertility products in one place. We also are adding bulk pricing. So been asked about this in the past, and we've done some, kind of one-off things. But for those people who are buying, 5, 10, 15 acres, depending on the product, we're going to be offering some bulk pricing options for that. So right now we got that up on Nitro Boost. We also are going to have that up for the Clover, Chicory, and Oats offering, and might expand that to other offerings as well. Other things are new products. So we got our annual Clover. That's a fantastic product for frost seeding, and also for this early spring, especially for those who still want to plant Nitro Boost. They want to get that annual Clover established. You could go in and drill your Nitro Boost right through it, broadcast through it, mow it off, spray it off, etc. We got our Premium Clover Plus. I'm using that on all my logging trails. That's a fantastic product. I'm also using that often with our Clover, Chicory, and Oats mix. So I might use Clover, Chicory, Oats in the first year on my logging trails like I did last fall. Let those oats come in, they'll die off, and then I can frost seed my Premium Clover and Chicory over top of those trails now. So those are areas where I want a perennial crop growing. So I'm using that mix. And then we added our brassica mix as well. We, of course, have our Seed Feed and Seed Armor. Those are selling fantastic, and various other products, guys. So please check us out at vitalizeseed.com. We sure do appreciate you, and we're looking forward to a fantastic 2025.
Well, I don't know where Jared's going, but where you're going to be at, Hutchie, is that it's something you've never seen before. It's farm ground. It is, when you get on a hill, you can see I mean, my father-in-law and I were out there gun hunting last year, and we were sitting in a blind one night, and I onyxed how far I could see. I think one spot I could see 2.5 miles, you know, but it's rolling. It's rolling. But there's a lot of cedar draws, and I don't know if you've ever seen terrace ground, but it is like a hill that's terraced off. Like they build these little terrace and they stair step it for erosion. And it's crazy how you look at some of this ground, and you're like, how are these farmers farming some of this ground? And it's like straight up and down, but it's like terraced off. And um there's so many nooks and crannies that you can't see from the road where big deer can be hiding. I mean, there's no reason why, or it's really apparent why a big deer can get big and get old in this area is because we come from a world in Michigan where everything is broke up in mile sections. So everything's a mile by a mile. Out there, it's like somebody, you know, threw a dart at the map and was like, "Oh, let's try to weasel a road in here," and then like throw another one in here, and it's like weasel a road here, and it's uh, it's crazy, but there's CRP, there's a lot of ag, little wood lots, and cedars and terrace ground. It's a great mix. It's a lot of fun. It's my favorite place in the world to go hunt. And nothing will ever rival it. It's to me, from my eyes, it's what beauty is. It's like so beautiful. And the thing is, I think it's because you see these upper echelon deer from a distance, like just doing like things you see on TV. It's like, man, he's bedded down with a doe in this terrace in the middle of nowhere, and here's this 180-inch deer. You're like, that is so cool. So that's kind of like the best way I can paint the picture of like what you're gonna get into.
Okay.
You're
What
not
about
gonna
you,
get
Jared?
into anything that's like 200 acres of timber. Like I'll put you like, or 100 acres of timber. Like it's so broke up, mostly ag, mostly little woodlots and cedar thickets is what it is.
Okay. What about you, Jared? Same kind of situation?
No, not exactly. A little bit different. I don't think we're gonna have or I'm gonna have the shift in topography like Aaron's talking about. Like there's nothing that big where they need to terrace stuff. Um, it's a lot of open ground with wooded draws, right, where they could never farm. There's a big river bottom that runs through it. The draws are all wooded. The rest is cattle pasture around the camp. But back on the interior, these guys did all CRP and natives. When I was out there last time, it was like 8 foot tall grasses, 40 acres here, 80 acres here. Like it's amazing. Um, they don't do any food plots. I think when I was up there last time, they had a couple Milo fields that they just put in, real cheap seed and just to get something to grow. I didn't hunt over those because they didn't have a lot of moisture in them. But I'm gonna be focusing on the rut funnels, the terrain pinches, um, cover. You can't really hunt those big fields, but you know that sort of thing. I'm trying to get the Iowa topography up on my Onyx to see what the biggest change in elevation is, but it's not big enough to kill yourself on Southern Ohio, West Virginia. I'm gonna take the face off everywhere. Like it's just it can go anywhere there, so we should be fine. But
Okay.
where I had success last time was pretty much pinches and bottoms and or in the timber between bigger open fields. We don't have a lot of corn or soybeans on this farm. There is stuff around though, obviously, because not everybody goes into CRP like he did. So
Okay. What are we looking for out there for a deer, size wise?
well, the last one I arrowed was about a low 60s 10 point. Um and I passed like a mid, probably a low 40s 12 point the first sit. The first sit I hung my saddle set up, and what do you know? Here this buck comes in between does. I passed him at like 23 yards. The landowner was like, "It's a pretty nice buck. You're from Michigan. You maybe shouldn't have passed that." I'm like, "I got 9 more days though, and this is God's country." So I ended up getting on another big deer, but I'm probably gonna shoot. I'd like to get a mid 40s deer, 50s deer on up. That would be. I'm not gonna be too picky. Got a lot of trips this year as well. The kids and school or sports and all that. So I'm gonna be aggressive and just focus on getting it done.
Get in and get out. I like it.
Yep.
What about you, Aaron? What are you looking for? 220.
Hard question for me to answer because it's so situational, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'd like to tell you like it's gonna be, a 140 or better, but it's like, you know, my scale like on a hunt like this definitely fluctuates the more days that get knocked off. Like
Sure.
I'm not just gonna go out and just blow up a 2-year-old. I definitely want it to be of age. Like I want it to be a 4-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure has to be the standard. Um, but like, knowing I'm gonna make a couple trips and I really want to experience the rut again, like that first trip, it's gonna have to be something pretty special for me to probably like pull the trigger on. You know, like part of me is like, hold out for something as like, well, the other thing is too is like I want to find like if I see a special deer, it might and I feel like I'm in the game on them. It might be something where I'm like, it's this deer or nothing. So it's very
Okay.
situational. Like if I don't come home with a deer, I'm okay with that. 5, 6 years ago, I wouldn't have been okay with that. I'm like, I'm going to kill. Like I have to. I have to. And it's definitely not that for me anymore. I'm gonna treat it a lot like home here is when I get there and when I see what I have at, if the biggest tier is a 150, like that's what we're going for. And if a bonus buck shows up, like that's what we're doing. So that it's gonna all kind of determine when I get out there. I do have cameras running. I haven't had a buck on them in a month. So I've shut 2 of them off. They need to be adjusted. So it's like I'm not putting any qualm into that or nothing. I know there's gonna be a bigger deer there than what I have on camera. So it's all gonna be a game time decision for me, man. Like I said, this year I'm hunting for those 3 minutes of just. I know it sounds so weird, like you just want 3 minutes for the world to shut off. Like, yeah, I do. Like, I literally want my phone to not like I want to kill something and just kind of reminisce by myself for a while, selfishly. And I'm
I'm
hunting
down
for
with that.
that experience this year. I don't get me wrong, like going to Iowa and killing my biggest deer ever in 2019. I think if that wouldn't have happened, I think I'd be treating this trip a little different. But since I was able to do that, now I'm like, this is all like bonus kind of thing. So let's go and experience different things. I have a different mindset going into it this year than I did in 19. You know, um, I want to accomplish different things. I want to try different things. So I'm all going to literally take it day by day when I get out there and, just kind of have fun with it. Not be in a rush. I'm always a person that's in a rush, I feel like. And it's like, dude, take a Xanax, like take a chill pill here and like relax. So
I think that's a great mindset to have. It's very, at least for me, I was the same way for many, many years of like just getting pissed if I hadn't killed or if big deer weren't out there. And you get that freeing mentality of, I'm just here to enjoy this. And the kill's the bonus on top of it.
yeah.
That makes sense.
100%. And I also want to I want to, I don't get to hang out with Chad and his son Matthew and Bo much. And like, that's another thing. Like, I just want to like take those moments that I get to spend with them. Like, his son Matthew and I are pretty damn good friends. We've got to become really good friends over the years. And like, he's building a new house right now. So I want to like hang out a little bit and just kind of,
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I have to go scout all the time and I just kind of want to relax and just kind of do what I want to do, kind of thing.
Yes, there you go. It's perfect. You just have Chad, you carry you up that stand, set you in it, and you're good to go. I mean, it sounds like a win-win.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah,
I have a
that's
question, Andy, on that. Aaron, how much scouting are you gonna do? Are you going out there? I'm asking for me, honestly. Like, if you got 8, 9 days, I mean, I probably plan on scouting a ton day 1, day 2, but I mean, probably try to sit the evening as well. So, like, what are
Yeah.
you thinking?
So the farms that I'm gonna be hunting, like I've never set. Well, the one I have, the other one I've never set foot on it. I'm gonna lean on
Okay.
Chad a little bit with that, because I definitely don't want to go in and like blow up a farm. Honestly, what my thought process is what I did in 19 is there was a farm I've never been on, and Chad had never been on it, like hunted it either. It was a brand new farm, and we picked a spot, the highest spot on the farm you could, and where you could see the best. And went in that night and did an observation. And it just so happened, like, we kind of got lucky and was just like, we were in it, you know? So, like, my goal is to maybe do that. Like, maybe not just dive right in and try to find scrapes and like pinches and all that stuff. Like, my thought process maybe is like, step back a little bit, go do a hang and hunt on the highest point where I can see the farthest, and then move from there. And it's like, man, the deer are definitely moving way more down there. I'm gonna move there, maybe do another observation sit. Like I said, like I don't, as we said right now, I don't want to feel like I have to like move in and get aggressive right away unless the deer is telling me to do that. Now, if I see an absolute giant day one where I'm like, he's there, I'm going. Um, but the scouting, like I don't think I'm gonna just bomb around day one. Think I'm just gonna take the more like approach of either glass from the road or the best observation point, whether it's hunting glassing or glassing from the road. That's the approach I'm gonna take the first day and then kind of go from there, I think.
You have some cameras you're gonna bring with you, and or I know you said you might already have some, but you gonna bring any more and set those up for your trips?
I'm fighting hard with the camera thing. Like I'm at the end of my rope with my cameras. It's I don't wanna ever say it's I gotta be careful what I say because I don't wanna, like, be a hypocrite, like because I think I'll always run cameras, but, dude, it's getting exhausting. Like, it's getting whether it's an SD or a cell cam, like, it's getting exhausting. Like, it's I like knowing what's there, which is good, but, like, I didn't use a camera in 19. I didn't even take them with me, and, would it have helped me? I don't really think so, but one of the farms that I'm gonna be hunting is very closed off. It is really hard to see in. It's like a big cedar farm. So cameras might be pretty beneficial. Where I'm thinking, I know there's a pinch for sure from the map that I want to put one on. I definitely want to make some scrapes while I'm there. And not knowing what deer are there now, I think I probably will utilize cameras, even SD card cameras. I am gonna take like 3 SD card cameras with me and utilize those on scrapes, I think. But I don't want to get into that mode of like hunting my cameras because I fall into that so easily. Dude, there's not a deer there. Like I'm kind of doing it right now here in Michigan. It's like I have nothing that's showing up in daylight. What am I gonna do in a week? You know, yeah, I don't want to get in that mode. I just want to go hunt
Mhm.
and kind of hunt mental, like positive, positively is like, hey, you never know what's gonna show up, kind of thing. So I'm on the fence. We'll see.
Okay.
I got a question for you on that. If let's just say they were to outlaw cameras right now, would it bother you?
No,
I feel the same way. Do you feel like you need to run them because everybody's kind of running them, and you need to kind of know what's going on and
nope. I feel
just
like I need to run them because I've ran them for so long, and it's just
oh,
like I'm so addicted to it. Where it's like I will say the thing that'd be the hardest for me to not run cameras are the little woodlots that I can run cameras in. My 1 acre. It's huge to have a camera in there where I don't have to go in there to know if I'm walking in on a deer that's bedded up,
okay.
because or a deer that's already in the food plot hitting the scrape. Like that's happened to me before where I was literally 100 yards. This was in 22, I think it was. I was 100 yards from the tree and refreshed the camera, and there's 2 bucks on the scrape, not shooters. And I'm like, I'm not going in there. I turned around and I left and I went to a different tree on a different farm. Like, that's pretty big for me. Like the small woodlots, but like if they were outlawed, I think it'd be I think I'd be a little bitch about it for the first year probably, but I think it would all wear off because the thing is like everybody wouldn't be able to use cameras then. So it's like comparison is, the theft of joy kind of thing. It's like your buddy's not running them, so it's like you're not comparing like what deer, and it'd probably be even better. It'd probably be better for everybody is like to learn your farm more intimately and learn your deer, like make you have to go out there and drive and glass or, figure out a different way. But till that happens, I'll still run them, but it's like I'm at the end of my rope on them. Like they're freaking money pits. The cell cams are money pits. And if I'll put it this way, my podcast pays for all my cell cam subscriptions. If the podcast money went away and I had to run cell cams on my family fund, there's no effing way my wife would let me do. I run 10 cell cams, okay? And that's enough. And she'd be like, "We're spending this much money on this. Why?" She already knows the battery expense because every time she goes to Sam's Club, I have her buy a thing of batteries. She's like, "Do you know how much money you've spent in batteries this year?" I'm like, "Don't remind me." Like, so, yeah.
What are you running for cameras now?
I have,
Menagerie?
yeah, like I have Reconixes. I don't have any cell cam Reconixes. Reconixes are the best cameras. Nobody can tell me any different. They are. Um, I have 4 of those SD card that I run all on video because their video is amazing. Um, and then my cell cams I have majority tact cam, and then I have some of those Moultrie edges, which the Moultrie edges, they're okay. They're the Edge 2s or whatever. Nothing beats the tact cam reveal stuff. It's in my, they don't pay me to say it. I don't have I used to work with Exodus and, that was a good camera, but still like, you know, for the money, for the interface, for the way the picture quality, the reveal is the standard in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I've got. When Exodus went under everything, I traded everything in for the Tacticams, and I like them. But the only bitch I have about the Tacticam is they are battery eaters. Like, at least mine are battery eaters. Like, I can't get 2 months out of them.
Yeah. Do you run it on video too?
Yeah.
That's the problem. I did that last year. Same thing.
Okay.
I ran them on video and I'm like, I'm changing batteries and I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So I didn't run any of them on video this year, which kind of sucks because I like video, but I haven't had to change one yet. And they've been out since, August. They've been out a month and a half, and I'm still on 100% on all of them.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Mine are way down from that. Like, in fact, when we're done with this, I'm hopping in the truck, running over to some public and changing one out because I got some bucks on camera. I got some nice bucks on camera, and my battery percent is 3%. So I ended up getting some of those battery packs. I'm going to try those, see how that works.
Hopefully they work for you. The Moultrie ones suck.
Oh,
dude.
Well, I got Tacticam, so we'll see. But they're Chinese knockoffs, so we'll see how bad this is going to be.
I bought 2 battery packs of those Moultrie ones, and I literally can't get them to last a month in the summer.
Okay.
If you have any Exodus solar panels left over, they plug into the Moultries, FYI.
Oh, do they? I do have some solar panels. Maybe I'll do that.
And
they won't plug into the Tacticams.
No, and the Tacticam ones.
Can you get a new cord that will do that?
Oh, probably. Yeah,
I would think so.
Yeah, because the Tacticam jack the female end is smaller, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
But the Tacticam solar panels work great too. Like you can run that all year long and never change batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's another expense, but how much is a pack of batteries too?
Well, I was running my Exoduses strictly off of the solar panels. I wasn't even putting batteries in them.
Yeah, the solar panels have a big lithium battery in them. Yep. So.
Yeah. So who's jacked for hunt season? I know I am. I'm ready. That's a lie. I'm not ready. Mentally, I'm ready to be hanging from a tree, but you guys got all your gear dialed in?
I need to go knock the dust off. That's why I want season to get here, so I can get out there. I can run through a couple hunts and just be like, all right, you suck at this. This is working great. Tweak some things and be dialed in for, the good time of the year.
Yeah. My bow's shooting amazing. I'm not worried about that. Arrows, broadheads are doing great. the gear, I have all the gear, but I don't have the system down yet. Like I don't have when you get to the tree and where am I putting my camera arm when I'm going up? Where am I doing this? What am I like?
Right.
That's all. That's where I'm lacking right now. I bought my tag the other day, so that's good. Um, I plan on doing this weekend while college football is on and everything. Just kind of start piddling with the gear a little bit more. Camel's washed. Everything's ready to go. Like I could go hunting tonight, but boy, she'd be a gong show. She would be. I forget shit. I forget, like I bought a new tree arm this year, so I'm trying out that, and it's like we'll
Which
see.
one you get?
I went with the beast arm.
Okay.
So and
Tried and true
I
for a
ran
long
the
time.
I ran the pocket arm. I still have it for 3 years, and I end up having to buy that Genesis 3D like standoff because it always kick out or whatever. Well, the shitty thing about that is it won't like the standoff, to pack it away without that standoff is great. But the beast standoff is way better and it turns and it's like a low profile. So you can slip it right in your pack. The beast arm holds more weight and it's not as bouncy as when the camera gets out. It doesn't extend as far. It's 2 inches shorter, which I could always use 2 inches. But I went with the beast arm, and so far playing with it at home in the yard, I like it a lot more. Especially the packability of it, because that's key. Um, that's what I went with. Is that what you're running? Did you say?
I still have the fourth arrow stuff.
Oh yeah.
And that's just I'm looking to get a little bit more compact because I love filming and I've been running some bigger packs. Now I got the Ranger 22, so I'm gonna run that. So I need to slim down. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah, the pocket arm was intriguing, but the beast arm, I was talking to Uncle Lou about that. They still make them, and I think was there a lead time on that? Did you have to like order it and wait for it to get
No,
made?
dude. I
Okay.
ordered it and I got it. I probably got it within 10 days, I would say.
Okay.
Um, but it's on sale right now.
Okay.
It's like actually a really good price. Let me look, see if it still is here. It's $160 right now.
Okay.
That's what that I will say the one thing, the bitch of it is the bolt that it comes with that you have to put your it's a 3/8 bolt. I think it's smaller. So you have to get a sleeve that goes in like your it necks it down from a 1/4 inch to a 3/8. I think that's what it is. I bought like a pack on B&H and I did and it works perfect. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's built really well. The standoff is the B standoff. Like it's how those
Yeah.
B sticks like stick right to the
They
trigger.
don't move.
Yeah. It so far, dude, it's great. We'll see running through his paces this fall, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna go with.
My thing says it's sold out right now, so I don't think you're getting one.
Oh yeah, I just okay.
150. It's 155.99 on sale, but you can't get one. Sold
Out of
out.
stock.
Yeah, maybe call Uncle Lou or something and see if he's got some pull for you.
Good idea.
Yeah. Are you going anywhere else, Aaron, this year? Just Iowa?
No, I am. When I say my chips are all in on Iowa, it is all like Michigan. I mean, I'm gonna hunt Michigan. Don't get me wrong. Go hard in the paint there. I'm gonna really try to get my wife a deer, a buck. She hasn't shot a deer in some years, and she's been shooting a lot. Good to go, ready to go. That's my goal. But like Iowa, if I don't kill a Michigan buck, I am like right now. I'm like totally fine with that. Like I'm good. Iowa, like I said, there's a lot riding personally on this Iowa hunt trip for me, just like experience wise and going in kind of like I remember in 19 when I was going in to it, I was very nervous. I had like this is the big leagues. I think I felt like I was like called up for the first time. And
That's
I'm
where I
like,
feel.
I don't want to like I remember night number 1 or 2. Only time ever this has ever happened to me. I remember this, and you could see it on the Hambino video. This double split 210 comes out, and he's walking down in front of us, probably 150 yards or so. And I look back at Casey and he's filming me. And I literally looked at him. I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. Like, I blacked out. I didn't know. And then he was like, get your grunner. And I'm like, I was back. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's like that moment where I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than that. I just saw him and I'm like, that is the biggest whitetail I've ever seen. I mean, he was probably 170-inch deer. Biggest whitetail I've ever seen with a bow in my hand. But it's different when you're in front of the camera instead of behind it. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, grab your grunner. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Here we go. And then it was like back. Like I don't have any of that going in. I know what to expect now. I know what I need to be, act like you've been there kind of thing. But that's a long-winded way of me saying I was the deal. It's the big leagues again, man.
Well, I know that's what I feel like. I mean, I remember I came down to your place a couple months ago and did that podcast, and I was smiling ear to ear because all I kept thinking about, well, I was, 10 feet or 5 feet from that Hampino, and, couldn't, was trying to steal it off the wall without Aaron noticing, but that didn't work out very well.
He's bolted pretty good to the wall. You got to take drywall with that.
Oh. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on. I do have one thing I want to touch on. Since we're here with the Vitalize guy, how are your plots doing, man?
Me or Jared?
I don't care about Jared's. More yours.
I wish I could tell you. My clover and chicory, or what is the mix that I did on the river farm, Jared? Do you remember the clover, that first farm you and I walked?
Either the clover chicory or the clover chicory oats.
It was clover chicory. It didn't have oats in it. That is the most lush, beautiful looking food plot I have ever had. Ever. It is a thing of beauty. It should be on Outdoor Life magazine. The deer are absolutely hammering it. It is my most consistent camera. I do not have a shooter on that farm at all. I haven't had one all summer. That was my first camera I put out in July. I had one buck show up that first pull, an SD card pull. And I'm like, yep, you're a no doubter. Never hasn't been back since. It was September, not September. I'm sorry. July, late in July, almost August. Had a good deer show up. Don't know where he is now. But I am getting consistent does. I'm getting probably 100 to 200 pictures a day on that food plot. And, but it's, it's not like I have 200 deer on there. It's the same dozen deer, a couple moms, couple fawns, couple little bucks. That food plot's amazing. That mix, that's my mix.
My favorite.
I love it. Now I did the nitro boost, which did great. I kind of got some weed issues. Like I kind of probably waited too long. My buddy Mitch and I and Phil went back in. We mowed it. My buddy Aaron as well. He helped me mow it, and then we sprayed it. And then Phil came in and drilled the carbon load in, and I'd have to look back on the date. That was in August. Probably we've had one good rain, an inch of rain since then, but I went and checked it, and now I do not want to go on that farm. It's 2 acres of food. I just jumped off the road real quick and ran 100 yards into the plot and looked at it, and it was up an inch, and it was all rode out from the drill you could see. And I'm like, yep, good enough for me. So, and then I got back in the truck and left. So I literally won't know what that plot looks like until I go in and hunt it. But there's a lot of deer on it. I do have a camera on it. And I'm getting deer on it every day, but I just don't know how it looks yet. We'll see.
As long as there's a good deer on it, it really doesn't matter how it looks.
There's a good deer on it right now. So
Jared you like the dirty plots anyway, right, Jared?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. You're right. I mean, you got the drill in there. They're all coming up in rows. We just need rain, man.
Yes.
We need some rain. So that's going to respond very nicely if we start getting some consistent rains, and the deer will keep it mowed down as well. So it's if you have the rows of all germination already, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
it's better than most.
For sure. Yeah. And that germination that I did see, and I think I sent you a picture or even FaceTimed you, I can't remember that day. It was up probably an inch, and that was with no rain. That was drier than a popcorn fart. Since then, we've had an inch of rain. And like I said, like for the last 12 days, it's been foggy in the morning with a lot of dew, so that dew's helping out. And
Yep.
I think we'll be just fine, and drilling's the way to go. I wish I owned the drill. Thank God I have awesome friends that have a drill. And because I think if I would have broadcasted, I don't think we'd be having this conversation. Maybe.
Yeah.
But like it was the drill, like definitely saved me, I think. Well, and the night was too, leaving a lot of that. I think there was a lot of moisture in the ground from that nitro boost. That was great to do. I really like the system so far. The deer were hammering that nitro boost. The sunflowers did amazing, and there was beans with little pods on them. The sorghum there was sections in that it was getting 12-foot high.
Wow.
I just had a weed issue. It was dirty. It was dirty, like a establishment with no windows dirty in it, if you know what I mean.
I love it.
I love all Aaron's metaphors.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. They're great. He's definitely one of my favorite podcasts to listen to.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, this is gonna not to air until the middle of October. So, your social media will pretty much be down by then.
Yeah, I mean Instagram.
Other than Instagram.
Instagram will be there. The Facebook's a hard one to do because there's a good following there that I think gets the podcast now. But I'm like, it just has to stop. Like TikTok's got to come down. I don't want to be aimlessly just scrolling.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, and every other post is trash. Just divisive trash. So at least on my algorithm, it's either deer or shit that I don't need to see. So
yeah. Let's see. I just opened mine up, and I've got a ad for some Wander North Homes, which isn't even close to by me. So exactly.
You have an ad in there too.
No, because I've already subscribed to that because I'm the old man of the group. Because I'm the old man of the group. I'm the old man of the group. So I'm good. We're all good. Well, guys, I super appreciate you coming on. Aaron, they can still find you on Instagram at
The Fall Podcast, and The Fall Podcast, and like anywhere you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify, search the Fall Podcast, and it'll come up. So
podcast is still going strong. No one's taking that away. That's going to roll for many, many years. I know.
No, and by this time too, it'll already be out by now, but there's something new coming with the podcast that's never been done in the podcast world. I firmly believe that. And I'm pretty excited about it. So that'll be cool. And I think we'll see if it goes off or not. I'll tell you guys off record, but it's
okay.
Pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, it definitely a podcast only fan sounds great. Anyway, Jared, how about you? Where can people find you at besides here sometimes and everywhere else?
Probably in my truck, honestly, is the best place to find me. But I'm always somewhere. Habitat Podcast on everything. Like Aaron, we have a great Facebook following as well. And if it wasn't for like pictures of my kids and stuff that are on there and family, I'd be off it as well. Podcast, Instagram. We're doing a lot more on YouTube these days, so check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, boys. Appreciate it. And hopefully we've already got deer down by this time.
Hopefully all three of us are tagged out. That'd be great.
That would be sweet.